Well, guys, everybody makes mistakes, and I'm no different. And when I got this from DCA Power, this is their 15-piece starter kit. I kind of quickly snapped it open, and through that cheap plastic, I saw those handles. And if you guys remember back in, I think it's video 749, when I looked at a Clom kit, they looked almost identical to these. So immediately I said, Clom. Snapped it closed, tossed it aside, and there it sat for the last month. I finally got a chance to take a close look at it, and this is no Clom kit. Let me go ahead and lay everything out, and I'll show you some of the surprises that I found inside of this cheap plastic bag. All right, guys, these are the 15 pieces you get inside of this pleather snap closure case with the DCA Power logo on the bottom right corner of it. Before I jump too far into it, I know everybody's eye is gravitating towards this pick. And this was an experiment that I did. A lot of people that requested this insisted these were made from stainless steel. In fact, on a couple of the forums, they also said it's stainless steel. I wanted to prove to myself that it is not. Now, DCA Power, to give them credit, said up front, it is not. This is 1095 spring steel, which has electroplate finish on it. And that's confirmed at this point because copper sulfate reacts with the carbon in the steel and also in the electroplate finish. You can see a little bit left right there, a little strip of it. So I left this in for about 10 minutes and it started bonding. I pulled it out. This will clean up just like new when I get done with it. So I'm just trying to be, full disclosure. That's why that one has the finish. It did not come like that. Instead, they all come looking exactly like this guy. They have a very nice, solid plastic ergonomic handle. It is very similar to the Clom, almost identical in fact, but that doesn't take away from the fact it is comfortable to hold. So for those long picking sessions, your finger is not going to get that nasty groove down the side of it right there. They are comfortable to hold. The picks themselves, got a really nice selection of pick tips. You got your short hook here, very nicely shaped. And typical of all mass-produced, you're going to have to put some finishing on this. So when you finish it, and kind of questions why they bothered with the electroplate finish, it's going to take most of that electroplate finish off, as you'll see in just a minute. These are 23 thousandths of an inch thick, which is 0.58 millimeters in thickness. So for beginners, that's the perfect thickness. It's a combination of toughness and thickness. All right, here's one. I did finish this one. This is the medium hook, and it comes out very nice. Beneath that nasty electroplate finish, in fact, you can see, I think if you look closely, you can see just a thin strip of it still remaining down the center. I only spent about a minute rounding off all the edges with some 600 grit sandpaper. They clean up very nicely. And in fact, I think after a minute, it looks so much better than that junky electroplate finish, which is, by the way, in many of these, it's already peeling off. Again, I don't know why they did that. It just, spring steel is actually a good material for picks, and that electroplate finish kind of cheapens the overall appearance. There's one that's starting to come off on the bottom there, but again, don't worry about it. There is spring steel beneath it. You have the DeForest diamond, one of my favorite deep hooks. And then for those slightly paracentric keyways or very small pins, a very narrow deep hook, nicely shaped. And then we get the last of what I would call the single pin picking picks. We have a half diamond. All of these are very nicely shaped, I have to say. They're all going to clean up very nicely once we get that electroplate off. Now, everybody wants to know, those are all the single pin, for single pin picking, all of your hooks. Now we get into some of your rakes. Everybody wants to know, am I getting a Bogota? Yes. A very nicely shaped Bogota. Everything's proportioned correctly. And then, even better, you're going to get a worm. This is the shorter profile Bogota. Fits into best keyways, and I find it very effective against arrow locks, best locks. And you can see, I hope it shows up on the camera, the electroplate's even coming off on this one, a couple places, starting to peel off already. Haven't even really used it very much. So don't let that bother you. You're going to be sanding that stuff off anyway. You get a S-rake or snake rake. Pretty nice looking, well-shaped picks. All of them are nice except this one. And this one, I think something went wrong in production. This is supposed to be a L rake or city rake, and in fact, it kind of is. But when you compare it to another manufacturer who, this is the correct scale, the one on the bottom here. I think probably what happened, the profiles are identical. I think probably what happened is at the manufacturer, they screwed up the scaling on that city rake and they made it like half scale. It would be great for very tiny like suitcase locks, but the one on the bottom is what I would call the normal size city rake or L rake. So if DCA Power, if you guys are going to do another production run, I'd advise scaling that one up, double the scale on that to make it appropriately sized. Tensioners, we got everything here. They threw in 3 tensioners. Let me turn them around here. We got a thick one right there, and that measures 0.132 inches, which is 3.35 millimeters. We got a medium one. All these are Z-shaped, by the way, with a twist. And the medium one is 0.105 inches, which is 2.65 millimeters. And then the thin one is a little thinner than we're used to, but still useful, 0.08 inches, which is 2.03 millimeters. So you get all of those. You also get top of the Keyway tensioners. Very useful. I use these all the time. You guys that watch my videos know that. You get 2 different thicknesses, if I get the camera to cooperate, of these as well. Come on, camera. You get a thick one, which is 0.046 inches, which is 1.17 millimeter. And by the way, these are a short end and a long end for those recessed keyways. And then the thin one, if you can call it thin, is 38 thousandths, which is 0.96 millimeters in thickness. So you got both thicknesses, just slightly different from everybody else's, but a couple of thousandths really don't make that much difference. All right, guys, we're at that point where you expect me to make a recommendation, and it's going to be really hard on this kit. I've got to say, everything in life is a trade-off, and this kit, compared to a lot of the others at this same price point, it's going to come down to your personal decision. The pluses on this kit, of course, are that we get top of the Keyway. Many of the kits at this price point, we don't get it. We get a super selection of profiles, with the exception of one manufacturing error. I can't think of anything I would add to this kit at all. I really like the ergonomic handles. If you're a beginning picker, you're going to spend hours holding these picks. And if you're using a bareback or naked pick, it's going to leave, like this, it's going to leave a groove in your hand, both your finger and in the tip of your finger there. This makes it much easier to learn by having a comfortable ergonomic pick handle. Those are all pluses on this kit. The trade-off, of course, is that instead of stainless steel, they made this out of spring steel. The other kits have no handles, and they may not have top of the Keyway, but at the same price point. Southord makes one, Mad Bob's makes his Ghost Tactical, UK Bumpkeys, Serenity, all those sell for 25 to 30 bucks. Sparrow's Tuxedo, all made from stainless steel, but they have no handles, and some of them don't have top of the Keyway. So it's going to come down to your decision. What do you want? For a beginner, I think handles are probably a good idea. For intermediate and advanced, I can say for sure, top of the Keyway tensioners are very, very useful. In this kit, you get it all for $29.99. So make the decision yourself. If you'd like to win a kit, there's the website. Middle of the web page, there's a big purple button. Click it, register, and maybe next weekend you'll be the lucky winner of this DCA Power 15-piece starter kit. Thanks, guys. Stay safe. Stay legal.